All right, let's jump right into this explainer and finally demystify the process of saving money. For so many of us, saving feels like this restrictive, heavy chore, almost like a punishment for just wanting to enjoy life. But today, we're going to completely flip the script on that. We are going to transform the way you think about building wealth, taking it from a miserable restriction and turning it into an empowering tool that quite literally upgrades your entire life. If you're a young professional feeling totally overwhelmed by that paycheck-to-paycheck grind, I bet you've asked yourself this exact question while staring at a totally empty bank account at the end of the month. You make a decent salary, right? But somehow the cash just seems to vanish into thin air. It is incredibly frustrating. But listen, the good news is you are absolutely not alone here. And more importantly, this is a highly, highly fixable problem. So to get this sorted, we are going to follow a really clear step-by-step roadmap today. We'll start with step 1, a mindset shift. Then step 2, a financial health check. Step 3, building the budget. Step 4, trimming and optimizing. And finally, step 5, automating the future. Kicking things off with step 1, mindset shift, redefining frugality. Before we even think about touching a single spreadsheet, we have to rewrite the story we tell ourselves about what it actually means to be a saver. We've got to break this huge misconception that saving means giving up all the good stuff. The old way of thinking was just pure deprivation. But true frugality, it actually means being fiercely intentional, cutting out decision fatigue, and having incredibly high standards for what you buy. It means actually using the fancy things you have, like drinking your morning coffee out of that gorgeous handmade ceramic mug, instead of throwing cash at cheap, disposable junk you don't even care about. It's all about prioritizing value over price. Thobeam Holly from Standard Bank really hits the nail on the head here. The core philosophy is basically shifting away from that quick hit of instant gratification, so you can focus on planning for the much bigger, way more satisfying rewards down the line. When you have a solid goal, like a down payment on a house or that dream vacation, saving stops feeling like a sacrifice. Instead, it feels exactly like what it is, actively funding your future. Moving right along to step 2, financial health check, tracking where the money goes. Okay, now we need to do some detective work to uncover the mysteries of your missing cash flow, because you really can't fix a leak if you don't know where the water's coming from. Think of this exactly like looking after your physical fitness. Taking a little time out to diagnose your spending habits protects you from major pain down the road, and it gives you crucial peace of mind. So for just 1 week, track every single cent, write it down, use an app, whatever works best for you. You are simply taking your financial pulse. And to show you exactly why tracking is so wildly important, just let this staggering number sink in for a second. Over $2,300. I mean, where does a chunk of change like that even come from? Well, believe it or not, that is the average annual cost of grabbing a $15 lunch out just 3 times a week. Crazy, right? So the takeaway here is that a seemingly harmless daily habit creates a massive, gaping leak in your finances over the course of a year. That is over $2,000 that could have been sitting comfortably in your emergency fund or compounding in an investment account. Tracking your expenses just shines this massive spotlight on those unconscious habits so you can finally step up and make a different choice. Which brings us to step 3, building the budget, giving every dollar a purpose. Once you see those leaks, we can build a rock-solid framework to give every single dollar a specific job. Look, a budget is not a cage. It's actually a tool that gives you permission to spend your money without the guilt, using a classic, super effective approach called the 50-30-20 rule. It works like this. Half of your after-tax income covers your absolute essentials: rent, utilities, groceries. 30% goes to your wants, your lifestyle, dining out, hobbies, and a strict, non-negotiable 20% goes straight into your savings. This structure guarantees you're building your future without totally sacrificing the fun of the present. Now for step 4, trimming and optimizing. Actionable ways to cut costs without losing the fun. We actively want to look for painless ways to cut expenses to feed that 20% savings goal. And I promise you, it doesn't have to be miserable. It can actually be incredibly liberating. You can free up serious cash with just a few strategic moves. Spend 20 minutes on the phone haggling for a cheaper gas tariff. That alone could save you hundreds. Evaluate your life insurance. If you've had it for over 5 years, getting a new medical exam might land you a much cheaper premium. Also, try embracing what our sources call staycations. Skip the expensive, exhausting travel and opt for a luxurious, relaxing time at home. And my favorite, do a seasonal declutter. When you pull everything out and realize just how much stuff you already own, it completely eliminates that urge to go out and buy more duplicates.
And finally, the holy grail, step 5, automating the future, paying yourself first. If you have to consciously remember to save money every single month, you are basically setting yourself up to fail. We're only human. Removing that temptation means putting your wealth building on absolute autopilot. These 5 steps outline exactly how to build out your 3 to 6 month emergency fund, which, by the way, is your absolute first line of defense against life's curveballs, illnesses, accidents, or sudden job changes. You calculate your bare essentials, do the math for a multi-month target, restructure that budget, open a completely separate, dedicated savings account, and then, crucially, step 5, you automate it. You set up a transfer so that cash moves on payday before you ever even see it. Because this is where the real magic happens. When you automate those savings into an interest-bearing account, you don't just earn money on your initial deposit, you earn interest on your interest. It creates this massive, beautiful snowball effect over time. Your baseline investment literally accelerates its own growth, year after year. Time is absolutely your greatest ally here. And to maximize that growth, you do not need to be rich to start. Start with really small amounts. Even just $25 a week gets the momentum going. Crucially, take immediate advantage of any company retirement matches. If your employer offers a 401k match, take it. That is literally free money. Do not leave it on the table. Open up a high-yield savings account or an IRA, depending on your tax needs, and always reinvest those earnings. Let the momentum do the heavy lifting for you. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Right before you make your next non-essential purchase, just pause and ask yourself, is this item serving my ultimate dream or is it starving it? Remind yourself that taking real control of your finances isn't about restriction. It is the ultimate investment in the life you actually want to create. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer on the steps to building savings. Take these strategies, apply them today, and go start building your financial foundation.